Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel Charcha on MBA. This is your host Harsh, and today I am back with another podcast session on the channel with our wonderful guest, Mr. Arnav Singh from IIT Delhi. Hello sir, welcome to the channel.
Hello guys, and hello Harsh.
So, would you like to introduce yourself to the viewers and tell us about your profile?
Yeah, so in brief, I'll tell about myself. Like I have chosen an odd path as compared to others. I did my bachelor's from IIM Rohtak. I did my BBA of course, business administration bachelor's, and then I moved on to IIT Delhi for my master's. Actually, I was in the IPM program. It is basically a 5 year BBA plus MBA program, but I left in the middle because I got a better opportunity after giving CAT. And yes, I have interned at Amul Mumbai. I'm a fresher, and my profile is 998 if anyone wants to know that. I scored 90 plus in 10th and 12th, and 80 plus in my graduation. So yeah.
Okay, so as I go through the LinkedIn, I got to know that you are associated with an NGO. Can you shed some light on it?
Yeah, so basically, I was associated with three NGOs. I am associated with three NGOs. In my bachelor's, I did two NGO internships. One was in Child Rights and Youth, Kolkata. It was basically a research internship, and I won't go into the specific details, but it was around the key health indicators and the health status of the people of Assam, and it was an extensive research internship. Then I also interned at My Choices Foundation, Hyderabad. It was a remote internship, and it was basically around designing their modules and carrying out their daily operations. And lastly, the internship that I did in an NGO was at Tarakki Foundation. It is in collaboration with Mahindra Foundation, and I did all these internships because my college wanted me to do that, and we have compulsory credit for NGO internships both in BBA and MBA. If you'll join any B school, you will have to either go for a NGO internship, or you will have to go for a REP, that is rural engagement program. And these programs are basically to make you visit the ground level and just realize that yes, this is the reality of India, because of course the other half of your life you'll be spending in corporates. So you should be aware of what is happening.
Yeah, sure, sure. So the next question would be, as we all know, the interview sessions are going on at in the MBA world and also at IIT Delhi. So can you share your interview experience with the viewers?
Okay, one mistake that I regret was that I did not transcript my interview right after the interview, as because I had something in my college, like in my undergrad, I had, I think, some exams or something, so I had to immediately rush back, and yeah, so my interview was basically a chill interview. IIT Delhi's MBA interviews are considered to be uh, pretty chill interviews. I haven't heard anyone giving a stress interview, because the interviews are basically to check whether your personality is up to the mark or not. They're not going to check your knowledge about your bachelor's much, because they have the belief that if you have a good CAT percentile, then only you are getting in the college. And after getting a call, they expect that you might be knowing the basics of your course that you did, whatever course you did. Till 2019, the intake was mostly, not mostly actually, 95% engineers. And then in the 2020 batch, uh, not 2020 exactly, 22 batch, they increased a little bit of non-engineers. And then in my batch in 2023, they increased a lot of non-engineers. Now it is pretty much balanced as like the other B schools. And as far as I know, I think there are 65% engineers and 35% non-engineers. So you stand an equal chance. Even if you are an engineer or non-engineer, not taking into consideration the CAT percentile, of course, that is something different. Uh, and they asked me things that were not actually expected. They firstly asked me to introduce myself, and they started talking about my college, like how is it going. So my interview was more or less like a conversation. They were discussing things with me. It wasn't like they were not like some serious interviewers ki bhai UPSC ka interview chal raha hai and they'll try to grill me or something. uh, After I introduced themselves, they realized, okay, my interest lies in marketing. So then they asked me something related to tourism and marketing. So tourism wasn't there in my CV at all. They asked me acha, what do you think, which state has the highest tourism? So I guessed it wrong, and made a mistake twice. And then they told me, okay, Rajasthan is the state with the highest tourism. And then they asked me, like, what do you think are the possible reasons? So I tried to list down some reasons, and I told them, yeah, these could be the reasons. They have a rich cultural heritage and all that. Then they asked me, okay, you're from Uttar Pradesh. Why Uttar Pradesh, is lacking behind in tourism? So I told them that yeah, it is having some destinations that are worthy visiting, but uh, I talked about like the heritage, the cultural heritage is not that much preserved now, and the things have changed a lot. Then they started countering me. There is Varanasi, there is Lucknow, there is Allahabad. Why do you think that the cultural heritage is not rich in Uttar Pradesh? So for that matter, I then use those pretty stereotypical reasons that yes, it's not that safe as compared to Rajasthan. Uttar Pradesh is not that safe, and there are reasons that tourists avoid Uttar Pradesh. And the other thing is that the transportation is not that good. Like if you want to visit Varanasi from Lucknow, it's so far. And these are the reasons. And on the other hand, like the connectivity is better compared in Rajasthan. And then they were not that convinced, but they moved on. Then they asked me, okay, what are the marketing tactics of the state of Rajasthan? So I told them they have a very aggressive top of the line advertisement. Like on television they have an aggressive ad campaign. Now it is not there, but in that time I think the I think till 2022 they were having a good ad campaign, Rajasthan. Rajasthan karke, there was an ad campaign. So I talked about that, and then I also told them that they also display their ads on websites, like and uh, the other thing is like they also have some natural landscapes. Like there is the Thar Desert. People actually go and visit there. They have the forts and all that. So, and the royal family still live in Jaipur. So uh, I basically explained them whatever it was. And then the interview was again back to my things that I've been doing. Like they talked about my startup, Road to IPM. So they asked me like, how are you doing things, and what is the future of your startup? Like, what are you planning to do? And then I explained, and then they asked me like, how did you start, and what made you think, okay, this is the thing that I want to do? So I told them that I wanted to explore in my bachelor's, and I wanted to do something different. So I told them all the reasons. It was something like a personal interview, so I won't be going into the details of it. Uh, on the other hand, then they actually asked me like, why IIT Delhi? So I gave them the generic answer, like It's been ranked like in top 5 for a previous few years. So, and of course it has a better infrastructure and placement opportunities. It'll provide me more exposure. I'll get new peers and all that. The generic points I gave them, and then they again uh, went back to my certificates. So one important thing about IIT Delhi is that you have to carry your original certificates to the interview. uh, I made a mistake that I didn't print all the certificates, but if you don't have the original copy, let's say you won a case competition on Unstop, and you have a digital copy of the certificate, I'll recommend just get a print of it, because they look at the original certificates, they look at your file, they'll go through everything, they even go through your transcripts, they even look at your marks. Like, okay, I remember that I had good marks in ethics in my bachelor's. So they asked me like, you scored well in ethics. So can you tell us like, yeah, they compared it with, I think, visual analysis. Yeah. So they asked me like, you scored good in ethics, but not in visual analysis. Like, can you tell us why? They both are not related at all. But the basically the thing is, visual analysis was a course on Tableau, and ethics was a course on ethics. So I told them that, yeah, I read the theories with interest. Ethical theories were something that actually made me think a lot. So I was pretty much interested in reading them, the philosophers, Aristotle, Socrates, and all that. I told them, and whereas in Tableau, I told them that I did everything that I could, but there were some things I think my project lacked some points. That is why overall I was marked lower than my peers, and it is relative marking. That is why I got a B minus grade. So that was something. And at the end, towards the end of the interview, Eri ma'am asked me, like, do you want to tell us anything apart from all of the certificates and your CV? So then I told them, like, I was a JE aspirant. I told that story, typical story. And I always wanted to study in an IIT. I actually got through in I got through in an IIT, but I had left that. I got IIT Mandi in my sixth round of JOSA counseling. But then I also had a call from IIM Rohtak for their bachelor's or their IPM program. So I had IIT Mandi Engineering Physics and IIM Rohtak, and also I had a interview call for IIM Indore's IPM program. So back then, my parents suggested me that don't go for engineering, and that is why I joined the IIM Rohtak program. So then they looked at my JEE, basically the result card, and then they said, okay, that was a great interview, and then they asked me to leave. And yes, they also ask you like, are you nervous in the beginning? And towards the end, they also ask you, did you enjoy the interview? So that is something I really like about IIT Delhi. The professors are very, supportive. Even like while I'm doing my MBA, the professors are really supportive as compared to any of the B schools. Like most of the professors in most of the B schools are very arrogant. They don't even want to talk to students outside classroom. And on the other hand, IIT Delhi professors actually support you. They are always there for you. Even if you are suffering from some personal problem, you can actually share with some of the professors, and they'll try to guide you. So yeah.
So, do you have any suggestions for those who are going to appear in the interviews? So, any suggestions for them?
Yeah. So suggestions. First of all, I would say you have to prepare for uh, all the political things that are happening. You have to look at the current affairs. I would say not very deeply, but you should have a superficial idea of whatever geopolitical standings are there. And like if Modi ji said something, or maybe Meghalaya mein there was something, you should be aware of whatever is happening. Other than that, you should be aware of your locality, like what your state is doing and what your state is about, what your city is about, what your city is known for. You should be, even if it has nothing, like let's say you are from some tier 2 city and it has nothing really special, you have to look at something like local, like there must be at least something that you can talk about. Uh, the third thing would be you should be aware of everything that you mention in your introduction, but that is very basic. You would be aware of all the things that you're speaking about, and you'll be asked in the other interviews as well. And fourthly, I would say your CV should, or your file that you're taking to IIT Delhi interview, it should have every certificate. Try to keep the not the certificates back from school, like आपने कोई debate competition जीता था, don't, just don't include that. But if it is the best thing that you have, if it is the best extracurricular that you have, then you should include it. Other than that, like just try to include all the things that you did. Even if you did some good Udemy course, you can put the certificate printed in your file. Yeah,
Okay.
that is it. Hmm.
So thank you so much for joining the podcast and giving so much information to the viewers and for me also. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure, and I'll say all the best to all the aspirants who are watching this video. And just one last suggestion is कि uh, मतलब अभी आप बैचलर्स कर चुके होगे या फिर जॉब कर रहे होगे, and you want to go for an MBA now. So please don't do the mistakes. Don't repeat the mistakes that you did in your bachelor's or maybe back in school, because there are high chances कि आप MBA कर रहे हो तो शायद आपने कुछ गड़बड़ की होगी, है ना? तभी आप उतने अच्छे कॉलेज नहीं पहुंच पाए, मे बी उतनी अच्छी जॉब नहीं मिल पाई. तो अब you have another shot, you have a chance. Life is giving you another chance. IIM का टैग भी बहुत बड़ा होता है, IIT का भी टैग बहुत बड़ा होता है. Especially I'll say कि if even if you are from a very tier 3 kind of college and society ने आपको एकदम neglect कर दिया है, try to prepare as good as possible for CAT. And that's my promise. If you are good enough, you have actually transformed yourself, you'll end up in a good college. So yeah, that is it from my side.